Q. This is BBC2, and it is time now for the BBC Late Night News. Sunday night, June 5th, 1971. Peter Wiggins, the news reader. Good evening, everybody. I'm Peter Wiggins, and here's what's happening here. Indian officials were planning to ask the United Nations yesterday to declare West Bengal an international disaster today. Of an international disaster area as a raging cholera epidemic continued to kill thousands of Bengalis and torrential monsoon rain flooded the sprawling refugee camps, leaving 2 to 3 million people without shelter. By yesterday evening, many of the camps accommodated up to 30,000 refugees were under several inches of water. Most of the huge communal tents erected on sites near Calcutta and in border areas were awash in a heavy downpour continued throughout the night. Millions of Bengalis were found. Blankets and mattresses were lined in the mud and several inches of water in the dark. Thousands of refugees swamped up to the flooded camps and spent their trek to nearby towns. They all are undernourished and exhausted after a long trek from the border, and many were later seen squatted in the rain under umbrellas on the roadside. Offers were tempted to match that Calcutta to join the millions of pavement dwellers in that impoverished city, but police officials at roadblocks near Dum Dum Airport turned them back, and the never-ending stream of gun and emancipated men, women, and children began marching back towards the small towns. At dusk, thousands of refugees had crowded into the doorways and verandas of shops and houses of nearby towns and villages, but only about half of the 4.5 million people who have crossed into India have actually been accommodated in official refugee camps, and the remaining 2 million have to fend themselves. They are going to die in their millions unless we get a massive injection of international aid immediately, an official said he has pointed to it. An estimated 30,000 men, women, and children were squatted in the mud and water under barrels and flimsy reed mats on the roadside near the mother town of Bengal.
Doesn't make me feel less safe.
As the rain continued to bend down on all parts of the Bengal, one was confronted with the same pathetic sight from a 100-mile drive from Calcutta to the border towns of Hyderabad, Managan, and Krishnagir. Almost all the huge refugee camps where a vast number of Bengalis are sheltered under huge tarpaulins are now underwater. These impoverished people who sleeping on the ground will have to brave monsoon rains for several months as a death toll of cholera victims continued to rise. Many of the makeshift hospitals and clinics were affected by the heavy rains, which usually inundate low-lying areas of Bengal. Mrs. Indira Gandhi, the Indian Prime Minister, flew into Calcutta yesterday to see for herself the formidable problem created by the influx of refugees from East Pakistan, and found herself confronted by an angry West Bengal state government trying to help in caring for the refugee whites. Evik Sarkar, she told the Bengal cabinet that despite her best intentions, it may not be possible for her to disperse all the refugees to other Indian states. The West Bengal cabinet, unable to cope with some 4 million refugees, felt told that they would reside in bulk if New Delhi did not take the entire responsibility. But Mrs. Gandhi told West Bengal ministers that other states are unwilling to bear the burden you have to. Try to persuade them, she said. This came as a complete surprise since the Indian Defense Minister, Mrs. Jacob Ram, told Parliament on Friday that responsibility for the refugees was entirely that of the central government. To add to the puzzle, the West Bengal Deputy Chief Minister told reporters that he was satisfied. She means business, he said. In addition to financial help, West Bengal expected that has not been forthcoming from New Delhi. West Bengal asked for more than £20 million for relief and received less than £2 million, and asked for £1.2 million for medical service and received nevertheless asked for £1.5 million for building refugee camps and received £500,000. Calcutta newspapers celebrated the Prime Minister's visit with open letters on their front pages addressed to her. She did not answer them directly, but did provide some clue to her attitude afterward, expressed and disappointed at the lack of international response. She warned the world that the institution was a great threat to India's security and could not remain frozen.
New warning from police, Liam.
Perhaps an demonstrating that Harris was not an idle threat, so she spent more time with the Indian Army's officers in command than they with any of the West Bengal state ministers. Scotland Yard detectives said in the arson probe that the blaze at the New Millennium Hotel Annex based last month, in which 8 people died, have been told by fire experts that the blaze at a house adjoining the Annex 3 weeks previous was the work of an arsonist, West John Hall. And there was similarities in the 2 cases. Federal investigators established that the Hotel Annex blaze started after someone sparked paraffin over the floor and furniture. Now the experts have told the New York that in the early blaze in the top floor room at number 17 Kensington Square, ground paraffin or diesel oil was used. As a result of the arson leak, Detective Detective Chief Inspector Jack Kendish, who heads the Yard's 20-strong fire investigating team, has asked that the firefighting authorities reopen the fires on all blazes in the Queensway and Baywater area during the past 6 months. A police spokesman said today, everyone concerned in the both fire incidents will be questioned again.
State Police meantime are saying if you do have to come through here.
News capsules. They are the largest anti-common market rally since Mr. Heath's return from the Paris summit. Meeting with President Pompidou was held in London yesterday. MP and trade union leaders expect to a crowd of more than 2,000 in the Westminster Central Hall. Mr. Macclesfield Labour MP for Valley said that a rally was the start of a countrywide campaign at the end of which the people will overwhelmingly vote against entry to Europe eventually. I believe that it must be a general election to decide the issue. The organizers of the rally claimed yesterday that a petition calling for a referendum on the issue, which has been handled to the Queen, contained about 300,000 signatures. Meanwhile, in Edinburgh, TUC General Secretary Victor Fever told 10,000 miners what joining the six would be a colossal blunder of a lifetime. The two crew members bailed out when a twin-engine Norif jet crashed in a forced near Campagne in France yesterday. The plan was to have taken part in the demonstration flights at the Paris Air Show tomorrow. The return to the work to almost 100% at British Steel Corporation plants at the country last night and tonight followed the 4 days pay strike by the blast furnace men. A flammable in a passing car was slightly hurt tonight when a July bomb exploded at the electricity substation in Dunbar Street, Belfast. Later, another explosion hit the police station at Ronan Street. Palestinian guerrillas attacked the Jordanian army positions at Josh, North Jordan last night with rockets, mortar, and machine guns. The price of the Sunday Express will go up from 4 pence to 5 pence next week because of rising production costs.
Is what I told you.
Before agreeing to say
Plonk at noon yesterday in London. Today was 11, a low reading. The forecast of tomorrow is low. A pay rise of 11% has been won by 200,000 civil servants belonging to the Civil and Public Service Association. 2 black South Africans have asked for political asylum in Brazil after a 58-day voyage across the Atlantic in Estonia. And that's made it the BBC Late Night News on BBC2 for this June 5th, 1979.
Yes.
Saturday night, Peterson, have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
conversations.
Sandal sensations from Spain. Just arrived and close to the Harrods Town. Corkers, suede sandal with cork platforms and heels. Burgundy, beige, French, blue, or deep rose. Chain and stripy sandals in gold. A silver kid, leather soles, $6.50 pints. 20 metal disc on black button white calf, leather soles, £4 and 95 pints. All American sizes 5 to 9. We recommend personal fittings, casual shoes, first floor. How to reach us if you prefer? You leave your car home. Bus numbers 9, 14, 19, 22, 30, 52, 73, 74, 137, 509. Our next door neighbor in Knightbridge Tube Station on taxi drivers know as well. It's Harris.
Trying to convince the jury that she should not be believed.
Coming up next on BBC 2 will be The Storyteller. St. Philip's reads the Walker Fairwalter. And at 11:25, 18 minutes from now, will be Time Limit Film with Richard Basehart. This is BBC 2 London.